Hello, my subscriber, my viewer, anybody that, if you're new here, welcome. Maureen Sky, Silver Senior Chatty Sky, coming at you. That's right. Yeah. How's everybody doing? I'm doing all right. If you haven't caught up with my last few videos, then you probably wouldn't know that my husband, Edward Sky, passed. He did. I miss him dearly. He passed on May 27th, just recent, and very different here now. And honestly, I have been so busy trying to, I had a big tag sale 2 days in a row, this past Friday and yesterday, out of our barn. My dear Susan, my dear friend Susan and her husband Andy helped with the setup. Susan worked really hard, and my son and my daughter-in-law were here too, and they also worked on building me new front steps. They look amazing. They're wider, and I've got all wood rails coming out versus the iron ones that were there. And the iron ones were not long enough, so one of the things in recent conversation with my realtor, she wanted to have those done over, and they're supposed to come all the way down with the steps. Well, now they do, and there's even solar little lights on for night. Oh, I just love it. I'll show you at the end of the video. We'll walk out and I'll show you. But I'm just loving that. I love the smell of the fresh lumber too. It smells so good to me. I can smell it through my screen door while I sit here. It's nice. Fresh lumber, so fresh cut lumber. So is there a candle in that scent? I don't know. I bet there is. We'll have to look at that one. But that's a nice scent. So anyway, yes, he passed, and I have been, like I said, now if we back up a bit, I started the whole process of making some phone calls in March, I think it was March, April, of talking with a realtor, talking with an auctioneer, and doing those things too. And I was making contact, I was started to, with like a funeral home, just to learn, the prices on things, of what a cremation would cost and all those things, because, I'm waiting for his ashes right now through a cremation source, a funeral home that was offered to me, information was offered to me via the hospice care in my area. Really great bunch of people. Oh my goodness, they were wonderful. I got to make sure I thank all these people too. And so I'm here in my living room. This is my sofa, and I painted that picture here years ago. I don't know if you can see. That's one that I painted years ago. Oh, there it is. Kind of a wintry scene. I like to do that. That was acrylics, I believe, done in acrylic. But I really like watercolor. I love both of them. But I haven't dabbled with them. I haven't had time, but I want to. Those are the things, after all this is said and done, and the sale is made, and I find myself somewhere different. And right now I don't know where any of that's going to be. I have an idea that's leading me, and I'm leaving it up to the universe, but it's navigating my mind and thoughts there, more so being in Florida. Now, I say that having not gone as yet to travel to where my daughter lives, and she is in Navarre, Florida. And then my son and daughter-in-law have another second home in Bradenton, Florida, and I understand there's still 6 hours difference between those two places. So, and I've yet to go to either or. So, I've got to do some exploring. I've got to do some research and all of that. And given my health issues, and they're not huge, but I mean, I do take a lot of meds for now a heart condition, and I am on the needle for diabetes and that, which all that stuff could be all transferred down there, and I'm not worried about that as far as, the people I see and the doctors and this and that. It's more the climate. Is the climate going to be too much for me? I can handle heat. I mean, a good hot day, I actually would welcome that because you could always plop in the pool, which we always had some kind of a pool. And I like those kind of days. Those are the best pool days. And so if I was living, say, down in Florida and it's so hot, well, of course, obviously everything's air conditioned down there. And I'm not a great one for air conditioning. I prefer a blowing fan, but I understand down there it's just you would have to have the air conditioning. But I'm sure I would get used to that. But then, again, if I'm near a place where there's water and a pool, I like that. I love the beaches and going to a beach, and I'll get in the ocean if I find it's clean enough, and I don't see any any danger around me. I'll get in the water and that. But anyway, I don't know why I navigated all off to that. But anyway, what I'm saying is I don't know yet. My daughter has opened very graciously their doors to me. They have an extra bedroom where I could stay and learn a little bit and till I find my own place to and I would love to be closer to my granddaughter. I miss her dearly, my daughter's daughter. And so there's all those things, and so I really think it makes sense to navigate that way, being that both my kids will end up there eventually anyway. And my son's probably got another couple years up this end, and then they're going that way. So, yeah, it's going to be an experience, right? We'll see. But the tag sale, we decided, Susan suggested having it Friday and Saturday because her mother used to do that. My mother-in-law used to do that, and she actually did pretty well on Fridays over in Greenfield when she would, because she had tenants. She had apartments, and they would leave anything they left behind. She would then the next summer sell it in a tag sale. And she did well. She had great tag sales and stuff. So, and she liked her Fridays. So we decided to do it Friday. And Friday was our better day versus yesterday, Saturday. Now, we didn't pay for a big, expensive ad. We wanted to. I think our timing was a little off for that. You have to get it in by a certain time. But we did do a small Facebook type ad, so some people knew, and I did a blurb on Facebook about it, and then I also did it on like my Red Barn sale page on Facebook. I did it there too, so it's not like we didn't try to advertise. And then of course the way we do it is Eddie and I over the years always had barn sales every weekend. So I had this big sign that we put out next to the lamppost at the end of the driveway that says barn sale. So we did all that, and I did all right, but boy, the barn is still full of knickknacks and decor items and craft supplies and some tools. Small stuff, arts and crafty things, a few collectibles, some kids' toys, things. some books, plates, dishes, cups, saucers, a sewing machine, a little couple pieces of furniture, lamps, you name it, it's out there in my barn. And it didn't sell yesterday, and not that it's not good stuff, it is. It's just we didn't get all the people that we had hoped. So I have an auctioneer coming, the same auctioneer man that took out a bunch of stuff the other day. He's coming back tomorrow, supposedly. And so I gotta have a bunch of stuff, furniture cleaned out versus my desk, the bookcase full of books, bureaus full of sheets and silverware and buffets. I got my work cut out for me still, and I was pooped from Friday and Saturday. My hips, I have arthritis in them and my low back. Oh my God. And I had all I could do to get upstairs, take a bath, and get into bed. I was aching. So I'm trying to take it easy today and just enjoy my day, which I have. YouTube and the people that I follow and that, I love watching their videos. But I got bills to pay. I've got it, the first of the month is already past us, and I have those bills, but I was waiting also to see some of the adjustments that were being made with Social Security and that, and some other sources. So I tell you, but I'm happy about the stairs. They made the front of the house look much nicer, and I think my realtor is going to be very pleased when she comes to see that. And I just, like I said, the realtor took a lot of stuff. The last time he was here, he took a lot of Eddie's collectible things, like, for instance, he had a couple of bigger than paperweight size, like small ball size, signed Josh Simpson with the fish inside and the different thing, the way he would do it, the glass blower, Josh Simpson, who does his artisan work in Shelburne Falls, which isn't far from here. So we had some of his pieces, very collectible. They're gone to, I believe they're on now on the auction site, Keen Auctions. And then he took out some of our big planters. I had one of my big cactus plant in for years. I have 2 pieces, Jardinier. One's a Weller, and one is, maybe they're both Weller, or Majolica. 2 big Jardiniers like that. They took out a beautiful ornate bureau of mine that was dovetail drawers. On this side you could see very old piece with really nice hardware and the doors that open up, and it had an ornate oval kind of mirror to it. Beautiful piece. He took that out. But there's more old pieces here, and he'll hopefully be taking those tomorrow. But at the same time, I also have to talk with him in regard to, at first I thought I'd be keeping some of these, a few pieces, for where I navigated to next, thinking I would stay around here and find an apartment within a 30 to 35 mile radius. Especially with Eddie still being alive, I thought maybe, we would go into senior housing. But now with him now having passed, and I may end up in Florida, I can't take any of this stuff with me. It's going to be me and what clothes on my back and a few things in a carry-on. And, if I do have a few things, I'll have them shipped down there. But there'll just be a few things. I'm not doing storage units and that, no. Other than I say that, and I do have my eBay business, which I have close to 850 items on eBay. And a lot of that's clothing, but then a lot of it's hard goods. And I don't want to stop that. That's a nice little side hustle. I've got 3 or 4 things going out tomorrow morning. I've got to get ready. So 3 or 4 things a day, that's a nice little side hustle for me, and I want to keep that going. Plus, I enjoy it, and I like the research. I like, the whole bit of it. So, I want to keep that going. So, there's all of that, and so what will I do with that? Well, that will have to get boxed up and sent down there. Now, my son-in-law, my daughter's recent husband, has a big traveling, like a U-Haul, big truck size. That's what he moved her in and came in, and it fit quite a bit of stuff in there. And so maybe the deal is they would fly up, or he would, with that, and get all my eBay and anything else I wanted, and then travel back and take me back that way. Maybe I wouldn't be flying back. I don't quite know, but either or, that's a good way to do it too. Just harder on them as far as, they've got to get up. But he's got the equipment, and he is retired, so that's an option. And I certainly wouldn't forget them on that. I'd make good with making sure I paid them for doing that too. So anyway, there's a lot to think about that way, and there's ways of making it all happen. So that's good to know. I feel so blessed that's good to know. I have that. I'm not just, riding solo with, okay, where do I have family that want me, and that feels good. I couldn't be more blessed in that regard, And I still want to thrift when I'm down at my destination, if it's Florida, whatever. So I already know there's some really cool thrift stores in Bradenton, because I watch some of my people, and they live there, and they go to Bradenton all the time thrifting, and they look like really good thrift stores. So yeah. And then my daughter said there's nice ones where she is too. So anywho, that's kind of what's going on. And Eddie's daughter, I feel so badly, because she's going through her own situation and bout with cancer and treatments, and it's left her very weak and in pain. And now she's getting backaches and stuff that she just couldn't make it up here. And my husband, Eddie, couldn't go there. And then I had to call and tell her that he passed, and it was so sad. And I can see where she's really having some hard times right now. And I feel for her in that regard deeply. I really do. She doesn't deserve all that. And now here's someone who's, been very healthy and very aware of her health, and not a smoker, and always out hiking, biking, swimming, something, in the sun, and just loving life and nature, and the poor thing's dealing with the cancer. It was in her lungs, and oh gosh, yeah. And those treatments can leave you very weak, as anyone who's been through that knows, yeah. So my heart is with her and all of this right now, and gosh, yeah. So, I wanted to talk a little bit too about this process, anyone who's been through it, and, especially more on the senior years side of things too. It is overwhelming. So get ready and have your team of people to help you, and because it's really a lot. And like I said, my body the last 2 days, just standing, and my hips ached so, and my legs, and leg cramps, and all, it's just getting up and down stairs, lifting things to bring out to the outside, then back in the barn. And I didn't do as much as my girlfriend did, and she's a year older than me, and she's doing better than I am body wise in that regard, because I'll tell you, I was aching. But it can be overwhelming. Get your things in order as far as, start planning and getting rid of things now. And I did start, but I mean, we had a lot, and I swear that's all I've been doing. 2/3 of my life is moving stuff, dealing with trinkets and knickknacks and collectibles and stuff. Oh my God, why do we do that? I mean, is that the American way, or is it all across the world? I don't know. But I tell you, it can be overwhelming, and it truly is. I'm trying to stay upbeat. I'm trying not to let it all get to me. Trying to get my rest and eat right and take my meds, and so that I have my strength and my stamina. And I met a lot of nice people yesterday and the day before too, just out and about. But the market's different too. Let's talk about that for a moment. I can remember having tag sales with not 1/3 of the stuff I have to offer out there in the barn right now. And yet I would walk away with hundreds of dollars versus a couple hundred for the whole weekend. The market has changed. Even though, yes, people are going more minimal. They're more homesteaders. They do like a good buy, a good bargain, and they are looking for certain things. But as far as a lot of the decorating things and an overabundance of things, they don't need it. They don't want it. And I see that the market has changed, and people are just out there looking for specific items. I kept telling my girlfriend, where's the person like me that would love a thrift, a barn sale like this? I said, I'd be making my little pile. I'd be saying, oh, don't let anyone touch that. That's mine. I'm going to be paying for that. We had one lady that did that. But so that was kind of the running joke. Where's our person who's making the pile of stuff? It didn't happen. So anyway, I've got a fan going and it feels so good. And so I've done a lot here as far as what I'm going to do in repairs and making it look good. Now I've got to clean it up, tidy it up, and make it look staged so that we can get her sold. And it's a beautiful area. It really is. Like I talked about in other videos, good for the public school and children. The bus pick them up right out front. School's just up the road, and then the high school is just several miles out, heading towards Northfield. You've got your general store, library, post office, town hall, right just up the street, like a quarter of a mile to your right, and that's all in a little vicinity. Very nice people in this town, very caring people, and it's pretty safe here overall. You can say that, and we have loved it. It'll be hard to walk away, but I need to. I can't care for this place as I age, and I can't care for it as far as how big it is, and nor do I care to as far as repairs and that. And, I'm just, I don't have the same stamina for that and budget. So it's inevitable. I have to leave here and see what my next chapter is, And I love meeting people, so who knows, you know. I leave the door wide open to a lot of things. Um, so with that, I have other things to do. I did want to do a video to stay on top of it and say hello to all my viewers. And, you know, hopefully I've offered a couple words of wisdom and helpful in that regard, as far as, you know, if you're looking to downsize, or if you're like me and you're a senior citizen and you're getting up there and you know that, you know, if one of you passes, you're left with a lot. Well, start working on those things now to make it easier for yourself. Start getting a plan going. Make a lot of lists. Start, you know, giving your stuff away to people who might want it or would appreciate it. Donate. You know, I'll be doing a lot of that. There's some stuff out front right now, and the couple of boxes of stuff looks like it's almost gone, but there's 2 old rocking chairs out there. One is just a frame. The other one's just a frame too, but it's got the, what do I want to call it? The netting of the weaving. What's that called? Caning. So it's got all that with it, and somebody who does that's getting a nice piece and the caning piece to go with it. And, you know, some of those things you got to get the right person, and then they'll take that stuff, you know. Books. I love my books. I was going to keep some of them, but no, I can't take them with me, so they got to go. And his pumpkin collection, I love that pumpkin. And that's a fairly recent collection, and there's a good 35 or more beautiful glass pumpkins. Let me show you. Hope I'm not making you dizzy. And I'll walk with you just out on the porch so you can see the nice steps my son made me. Hold on, guy. It's hard to get up off this couch, so just bear with me. I'm with my achy hips. See? Did it. Okay. Old house. That's a pretty old house, though. It's got character. See, it's gonna rain soon, but you see out there? And they look really nice from the front of the house, too. I'm not gonna go out there. I don't want to get wet. But really nice. They did a great job. Yeah. So anyway, it's me saying goodbye to you, and I hope you're all doing okay, and I hope the universe is providing nicely for you. I truly do. And I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you in a few days from now with more updates as to the status and how I'm progressing with this overwhelming stuff that I have to do. Bye-bye now. Been fun. It's always fun. Love ya. Thank you now. Bye-bye. And until we meet again, I certainly hope the universe provides. I truly do. Thank you now. Bye-bye.